This video is brought to you by SINGERonline.com, and what we have here is a Brother ULT embroidery machine with all the Disney characters. And we're going to go over dismantling it and some things you need to know with regard to tuning it and cleaning it. It's a nice machine. It's about 10 or 12 years old, and it's the same electronic setup as the Brother 4000D and the 2500 and the new 6000D, but it's a little bigger. The concept is the same, and we're going to go over taking the covers off and so forth. What we're going to do next is we're going to take the lid off the machine. It just snaps off a hinge back here. We're going to set it down over there. We're going to take the tension control cover off. We've already taken the screws out to simplify the process, but this is the tension cover, and this is the tension apparatus. We're going to go over that with a fine-tooth comb. And we're going to take the head end off, and this is going to expose the needle bar and the needle threader and the mechanisms of the take-up and so forth. The take-up levers here. This machine has some thread stuck in it, so right here, so we're gonna watch that. Excuse me. The main covers, side cover, we're going to take off. This exposes the cutters, the knives, and the needle plate. This is the knife right here. This is what cuts the thread. And if you go through the motions, you'll see how the knife works. That's got a jam in it. That's why we're repairing it. It won't work. And the tension, of course, is right here. And this is what happens on many machines with the upper horizontal tension. The discs, which are right here, they tend to miss the thread coming through. And what happens is the thread coming off the spool will miss it. And for simplicity's sake, I'll show you what I mean. In a perfect world, the thread finds its path into the tension discs. We'll open up the tension discs by raising the foot. Many times what happens is the thread will come here and miss the discs, and when that happens, the thread will jam underneath the material. Big loops and nesting of the thread because there's no tension on the upper thread. And with this cover on this machine, the fins on the bottom of it help the thread find themselves into the discs, but it's not perfect. And that's a little idiosyncrasy of these upper tension assemblies, that the thread misses the discs and you have a big nesting problem underneath the material. The next thing we're going to take off is the front cover. We have the screws out of it already. We're going to expose the main PC board and all the connections to it. You'll notice these ribbons, I call them ribbons, they're electronic ribbons. They just pull in and out these connectors. They're friction mounted. The left side of the board is all the feed system connections. The left lower side's feed. The left upper side is needle bar and zigzag and stitch pattern selections. And you'll see also the connections are color-coded, so you can't miss a connection. That's a white, this is a red, so you can't miss any of the connections. This is the plug-in for the embroidery unit, and these are the pulse motors for the feed. And this is a pulse motor over here for the needle bar drive. It's back there. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to go over some of the oiling points on this machine. Especially the upper oiling points, so that you can get a line on what you're going to do in terms of... we use a tri-flow lubricant, and it's pretty good stuff. It's good for sewing machines, and especially embroidery machines. This is the main shaft. We're going to lubricate the main shaft. We're going to lubricate the needle driving mechanisms, the take-up lever mechanisms, the needle bar, the basting clip, I call it, and the needle threader. As far as the top of the machine goes, that's all you're going to want to concern yourself with, is this entire head end assembly, I call it. And we're going to lubricate this tension spring so that we keep a nice clean set of tensions, and the pulse motor gear. And behind this board is the other side of the main shaft, so we're going to give it a little bit of oil also. That's the upper bar in terms of lubrication and in terms of tuning it up. Next, we're going to study the bobbin case area, and I'm going to pause this for 1 second. The bobbin case area, today we're going to clean it by blowing it out first, and we're going to remove the bobbin case and inspect it, making sure it's not broken or any needle punctures in it. Next thing we're going to do is clean out the hook, and we're going to lubricate the hook, the center pin, the bobbin case lip, the feed rocker shafts, and we're going to put some on the knives and the cutters. And this is a cutter spring. These items are critical in terms of getting this machine to run smoothly. And that's going to be the crash course on disassembly of the Brother ULT series embroidery machines. This message is brought to you by SINGERonline.com. We can be reached at 1-800-559-6729. Thank you.